Service is service, period. A senior Army Reserve veteran in Ohio reached out for help. He served 6 years, including active duty in basic AIT and Desert Storm preparation. He told me, "I never imagined I'd be homeless like this." He was denied support because someone decided his service wasn't enough. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, and we are taking action. We verified his service, submitted referrals, and elevated his case to federal leadership. Join this effort. Share this video. Learn how to help veterans through our U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guidebook series at vetmentorsonline.com/store. Hello. Hey, Tarita. Welcome in, everybody. Chiming in over here, Dark Cloud, to BB Rita, Nick over here on TikTok. Thank you for joining again today. Some of y'all have become top viewers and hearts. I see that. They allow us to see who is joining us. So I want to thank you all for stepping into the room today. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, and Consultant nationally. You see the map. That's the map. And I became national just by helping, literally just by helping homeless veterans in other states with their resources, finding resources and guiding them to really just guiding them on their path to finding out what they can qualify for, what's out there in their immediate community. And this is what I teach you how to do. I started doing this after in 2025, April of 2025. April, I got online more. Anyway, so I started reaching out on social media, specifically on TikTok, because I saw, that's a community that can access information quickly. And I saw that in that community over on TikTok with veterans, veterans reaching out, and I would search out veterans who, what are they looking for? And I saw that some veterans were saying, "Hey there, Lacuna, daughtery. My sister is in here too." No, Cheryl. Hey, Shelly. And I just put a message out on TikTok to see if there were any homeless veterans who needed assistance with finding resources. And to my behold, there were veterans who said, "Yes, I need help. I'm homeless and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I have a voucher and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go." So I'm like, you know what? That's the same issues that I've dealt with over 22 years here in the Chicagoland area. I wore my Chicago, I'm repping Chicago today. So I said, let me see if I can do the same thing in other states, other places that I do here in the Chicago area. And it just so happened, I'm showing y'all the map over here of all the places originally where all the homeless veterans were contacting me from, as far as Hawaii. Even though I did have a veteran who was relocating from Guam back to, was he in Guam? I know he was far, but back to the States, and didn't know where to find his resources, where to find where to go to find the benefits that he needed. So I started just helping veterans, homeless veterans, and veterans who are relocating that way. And I got so good at it, I'm like, you know what? This really works. After a whole year, I said, this is really working. Let me see how I can teach others how to do that. And that's when I started writing the books, the educational guidebooks. And the first guidebook I wrote was this one for social workers. If you all can see that, is this right over here? Let me fix my camera over here on TikTok before mirror, mirror. Okay, that's right now. Okay, pardon me, guys. I didn't want y'all to try to read backwards or anything. So this is the book that I wrote for social workers. I'm pulling it up over here for you all on YouTube and the other channels. So this is the first book I wrote for social workers, case managers, human care professionals, first responders, because you guys are the first line of defense when a homeless veteran comes to an organization. So you would be the first person they see when they sit down at your desk, because you are the social worker, you're the intake. You might work in homeless walk-in in HUD VASH, but you got to get through homeless walk-in before you get to HUD VASH. But you may work in, you may be an ER RN nurse. You may be a social worker in mental health, in social cycle, wherever you are, you still have the same capability of helping a homeless veteran as long as you have this education. And that's the word that came to mind today when I was thinking about what am I going to share on today's live? And that is education. You can't do anything without proper knowledge. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but is it going to be the right thing? So I consider myself an educator. I've been educating for a long, long time. I've taught at the college level as an adjunct. I loved it. I was teaching at ITT Technical Institute, and I honestly loved it for 4 years. And then things changed, and I had to go. But anyway, I've been educating a while, taught for Phoenix Online. I didn't really like that. As an instructional designer, designing instruction for industries like the construction industry. I was an instructional designer at the International Code Council, where I was part of a team I was the instructional designer. Then there was a subject matter expert, and then we had an editor. And that's it. So I had my hands into creating and designing instructions for the construction industry. Books similar to this. So that's how I know how to do all of this. So the first book I wrote was for social workers, case managers, human care professionals. And the reason I wrote this, because when I started housing at the VA, the social workers and case managers and human care professionals, they really didn't understand yet how to house homeless veterans. Nobody taught them that. Yeah, so we had social workers who had not purchased a house in over 30 years. Her letter is in the book too. We had social workers, and I do have a lot of letters in my book, so you guys can see letters from organizations that I worked with, letters from the VA, from social workers at the VA. Oh, those are over here. So when you get this book, you'll be able to read, the impact of how my work really helped them do their jobs better just by them being educated. And I hadn't written this book yet. I sat down with them one on one to educate them on how to find housing, how to screen landlords, how to find and speak with realtors and property managers. So this was the book that taught them that, and this is the book that I have now in my bio. Oh, let me add my bio. In my bio here on TikTok, and over here on YouTube, let me add the link so you can just go to the link and get a book. And I know somebody yesterday on YouTube purchased a couple books. I saw that. I want to thank you so much. And then also there was a realtor. Bless her heart. And I want to clear something up for everybody, and this is how I operate. You get a lot out of me. You'll see a lot of me on camera like this, but I'm not accessible by phone. The way you engage with me is to be in my community, and that's the community of like you see here on the map, of advocates and those who say they want to do veterans housing and learn the right way. So you could see on the map where everybody is, and we got in North Carolina this month, so I think we're up to 39 states. So you want, and I turn down money when people say I want to meet with you one-on-one, or they say can we have a conversation, or if they say I want you to help me fill my units. So yeah, I don't do that. The way we communicate is by you going to get some education. I took a lot of time to put 22 years of knowledge across all of these books. Hold on, they're heavy too. This is the encyclopedia. This is the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guidebook Series. So all of these books, I wrote all of these books based on what I've done over 22 plus years in the community. Okay, so once you purchase a book, then you send me the picture of you holding a book. I got 3 pictures today from Shirley. Thank you, Shirley. She sent 3 separate pictures of each book that she purchased. I've got other advocates who hold all the books up. And, so this is how we're building a community. This is how we are building awareness, because I share you all. I share where everybody is located. We've got, where is he from? A town I'd never heard of in Detroit. I can't even pronounce it. And then we also have Richmond, Virginia. So that's how I get to know everybody. And that's how you all know where the advocates are. And you become an advocate by you learning, by you receiving this education. You go to my bio and you buy the book that you need. Buy all of them. If just buy everything that you need, because everything is not in one book. So the book for realtors, and I wrote the book for realtors because I'm a realtor, and I know how difficult it is for homeless veterans, for veterans who have vouchers, for veterans who have funding that they're receiving from various organizations that have received over $900 million to help reduce and eliminate veterans homelessness and help veterans pay for I don't for security deposit, first month's rent. In some cases, the organizations can pay up to 2 years. I've had one organization pay for 4 years for one of the veterans I housed in a unit. So this book is to teach realtors how to work effectively in the veterans community, from homeless to home ownership. My colleagues here in Chicago, and hold on a second, because I won another award. So this one, I showed it yesterday, but it's still effective, because this award right here was awarded to me by the National, so not that by the National, by Main Street Organization of Realtors. This is the President's Award. I am a realtor, and my role in the real estate community, well, I not even in the real estate, yeah, the real estate community, is to house homeless veterans. You hear people say, well, my niche is this, my niche, forgive me, my niche is homeless veterans. That's who I house. You have other people who say their niche is luxury homes or upscale living, or whatever the case is. But mine is more on the humanitarian side, and that is housing homeless veterans, from homeless to home ownership, no matter where they are, as long as they can use their resources and their benefits in the community. And I have a community partner who is known as an investor, and they say yes. That's how you house a homeless veteran. Now, there are a lot of mechanics between what I just said, from homeless to house, and those mechanics are found in my library and also in my private group. So it doesn't matter when you purchased a book and what book you purchased, I will invite you to join my private group, because that's where you learn more of the mechanics of housing homeless veterans. Yeah, those are the conversations I don't have on the live platform, because you miss a step and you'll be like, oh, she didn't know what she was talking about. That's because you didn't get all the steps. Housing homeless veterans is not for the faint of heart. It's not. And it's not for somebody who's just looking to do some money grab real quick either. It's not that either. This is a community that you might have said, and I'm sure you have, because who haven't said we shouldn't have homeless veterans? Who's never ever said that? Put it in the chat. Have you ever said we shouldn't have homeless veterans? Put it in the chat. Also put in the chat what part of the country you're in. Hey, Fuzzy Cookie. That's an interesting name. Have you ever said we should not have homeless veterans? I want to hear from you. If you've ever said we shouldn't have homeless veterans, then you could be part of the solution if you want to be. Or you can just be another complainer talking about what the government isn't doing. And people say that because they don't know what the government is doing or what the government has done. That's another problem. You want to house homeless veterans as an operator, and you might be housing homeless veterans as an operator, but you're not housing homeless veterans as an operator, and you're looking for veterans to fill your beds. That's not what this is. Because if you are providing housing for homeless veterans, then you know where to go get those veterans from. You have partnerships with those organizations that have received over $900 million to operate in the community. So I reviewed a plan for one of my members in the group. He's in Richmond, Virginia, and I really like reviewing plans, because it gives me an opportunity to see the integrity of a person, and not just to buy a property or rent a property and say, okay, here's a bed. That's not what this is. Thank you for the roses. That's not what this is. This is program driven, and it's because oh, thank you for joining my club. And because I work in, no, I don't work in government. I'm a government contractor, put it that way. And I know who has the money. I'll show you. Let me just stop going around the mulberry bush. This is the money green folder right here. And as a realtor, and I'll tell y'all how I generated a 7-figure income housing homeless veterans. I think that's what more people might want to hear. How she generate a 7-figure income housing homeless veterans. I'm going to do a whole video on that. But before, and that's going to be a private video. Y'all going to have to pay to get into that one. And the pay is buy a book. Let me see. How do I get access? You get access by buying some books and be willing to learn. So it depends on what you want to do in veterans housing. I don't know. Are you a realtor? Because I've got the book for realtors. It just depends. I've got books. If you want to be an operator, I sold that last book and it's taken Amazon a while to send it. That's the book to become an operator. And this book was released, a guide to veteran share living models, and also brief you on HUD-VASH and SSVF. And that's the book for you. So I don't know what you want to do. So you just got to buy a book and let me know you bought the book. And when you get the book, take a picture holding the book and send me that picture along with your name, your email address, and phone number, and city and state. Because if you're not want it on the states, then I have to add the new state. So we're up to, I think I got to count it before this day is over. We're up to 39 states, so 39 people in 39 different states, and also not just 39 different states of advocates, but homeless veterans. I was showing you where the money is. So as a realtor, I've been a realtor since 1996, and I have been housing homeless veterans for over 22 years. So almost longer than I've been a realtor. So a lot of my clients, homeless veterans, came to me with the HUD-VASH voucher, and hold on, and the other ones came to me referred by organizations in the community that have been awarded grants and per diems and contracts to house homeless veterans. So they contact me because I got the properties. But now I'm not doing that. I'm teaching you how to do it. So please don't. And I do have people emailing me saying, I want you to help me fill my units. Yeah. So my response to that is go buy a book and read the book, and you can join my private group so you can learn more. Because if you're asking me to help you fill your units, that's just simply telling me you're not connected the right way. Okay, I got you. So as a realtor, and I had another plug too, since I've been doing this over 22 years. I was conducting workshops at the VA, inside the VA, inside all the vet centers. Let me pull some pictures up so y'all can see over here. So this is me and my team at the VA, at the CRC. My team, I took a team to the vet centers over here, and these were veterans who went from homeless to home ownership. In the front of the book, I have 10 veterans, some veteran families. Half of them were homeless who are housed out of homelessness into a rental unit, and now they're homeowners. Oh, dag, I got another violation on TikTok. Ugh, let me see. Hold on. I gotta do something. Appeal. Okay. I gotta appeal real quick. Okay, good. Okay, so that's how you gain X. So anyway, so when you know where to go, that's when you know you have a viable business. And I warn you, and I warn everybody, it's not. Um, I want to be an operator as well. So I don't know. You need I don't. What else? You just said that. I didn't. I don't. How do I gain access? That's the first question I saw. And then the second question, the second statement was, you want to do, you want to be an operator as well. So I don't know. So the operator's book, clarify that for me, please. The operator's book is a guide to veteran shared living models. Are you a veteran? Because if you're not, you're going to need even more. So the money. Somebody emailed me today. Hey, I saw you. Two people emailed me today. Three people. I'm going to get back to the third, but I have four because it's morning too. So one person this morning from an organization, I believe they purchased the book because I saw the Finding Home book was purchased, and that's to teach you how to um, find resources in your community and how you can provide, you can be the resource in your community. So I sent him that information because they said, well, we help homeless veterans and we want some of the grants. Well, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Let me just stop and talk about that right now. You have to know where the money is because these organizations are not advertising on the side of a bus. They don't have billboards. They're not going to where these homeless veterans are. You would think an organization, hey Jose, you would think an organization that receives $7 million, they're in Oregon and Washington. You would think an organization in Oregon and Washington who received over $7,094,701 would go to where homeless veterans are. You would think, because if these organizations who received over $900 million don't use the money come next fiscal year, then they're going to be, the Department of Veteran Affairs is going to be like, well, um, we see what you've been doing, and you haven't been serving these veterans. So, and I have seen over the years organizations the owners get indicted. They were shut down. They didn't come back the next year. When I first got started in veterans homeless housing in Illinois, let me see, they've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven organizations that receive funding in Illinois. Seven, only seven. When I got started in veterans homeless housing back in 2007, 2008, there were 40, at least 45 organizations. Every veteran that needed service, received funding. It was so many organizations. They did so much. And now over the years, it's just tapered down. So, what cities and states are you guys in? I'm a realtor looking to start a housing business. Okay, realtor looking to start a housing business. You need a lot of work, honey. So, go get this book, A Realtor's Blueprint. That's one book you need. looking to start a housing business. Hold on. And you're also going to need a veteran shared housing living models book because you're in oh, hey, Charlottesville. I know Jose. So you're going to need those two. Are you a veteran? Have you ever worked with homeless veterans before? And I'll tell you why, because I have a whole library. Everything you need will not come out of this mouth. You got to read some books. And then once you buy a book, show me that you bought the book. And once you receive the book, hold the book up, smile with the books, send me that. And also, you will be invited into my private group where you learn even more. Hey, Bo Finest, I'm in Florida. One moment, please. I'm in, okay, Bo Finest. Hey, Bo Finest, I'm in Florida and I need to start housing business and I have property already. Oh, that's wonderful. What state are you located in? What city and state? And you, oh, thank you for that lovely crane. I think that was that on TikTok. Bo Finest, what city and state are you located? And are you a veteran? And I believe, here, let me put my email address in the comment over here so you can email me. So my email address is Yvette at VetMentors LLC.com. Oh, you're in Florida. You said that. Okay. Bo Finest. He said, my property is in Homosassa, Florida. My problem is that most group home want, I know that. I'm so glad you learned that. An error occurred. Okay. So you're right about that. And you don't have to have a group home because the group homes will require a sprinkler system, a Class B fire doors, hardwired alarm. So you're just using the wrong language. That's all. So I would suggest you get DAG. I would suggest you get, hold on, Bo, this book right here. Um, Let me take the comment off the screen. Let me take the comment. Florida. Okay, hi. So go get this book right here. That's the veteran shared, um, a guide to veteran shared living. Florida is on the board already, but finest, 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 finest. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, so go get that book. And now that since you're not a veteran, yeah, you're gonna have to just join my community. Once you buy a book, email me holding the book up and that'll let me know you have the book. Give me your name again and the city and state because I like to know where everybody is because I'm building a community where you've got your housing in Florida and we may have somebody, a veteran who needs that housing in Florida, and we all know where to go now to you because we know what you're doing. So I get to know everybody. It's not I want you to go buy a book and then go and do everything by yourself. No, this is such a passion for me. My colleagues, I'm a realtor, and my colleagues, they'll always say, "Oh, Yvette, you're doing so much good work. Oh, thank you for your service. Oh, they think it's like philanthropy work. I would be another homeless veteran like I was before if my business were all philanthropy work. My not-for-profit, that was philanthropy, but not my real estate business or my government contracting business or my consulting business or my publishing business. That's not philanthropy. What I do in the community is more of a community service because you don't find a lot of realtors out there housing homeless veterans. And it's a concept that realtors don't even think about because they think that there is no money in it. The first words you hear is homeless. They ain't got nothing. How can I get a commission If they're homeless, they don't have any money. Okay, hold on. Hey, Ari. Hey there. Thanks for joining. And then I will buy the book now so you can add me to the community. Email me as well. Email me and show me that you have it, and then I'll definitely will add you. And I'm sending out an email hopefully tomorrow. Oh my God. What changes do you hope to see in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, I hope everybody has, whoever said they want to house and help homeless veterans, get my library, read it, and do the work. That's what I would like everybody to see, to do. That's what I would like to see happen within 5 years. I was tucked away in the VA and I was very happy. I was very happy. I was the only realtor in the city of Chicago. Hold on. I like to show and tell. The only realtor in the city of Chicago with this badge. And this is a volunteer badge that allowed me to go inside the VA as a volunteer to go and conduct my workshops inside the VA. I'll show y'all pictures again. This is inside the Jesse Brown VA, the CRRC. I started inside the VA though. This picture here, where is it? What is this of? Oh, this is at City Colleges of Chicago, where I also conduct veterans homeless housing, and where investors would also come and learn how they can contribute to the community using their investment properties and getting paid by the government. Why not? The government has money to pay. They have already allocated this money to pay for these veterans. So I teach you how to set up through education again, because I don't do one-on-one telling you what to do step by step. I don't do that. So you're going to read a book, you're going to come into my private group, and we're going to do even more. That's how you learn in a group setting, with me talking, with you reading, with you asking questions, with me answering questions, with you learning from other professionals in the field who I'll have on live, or however we're going to do it, maybe live. I love the live thing. I really do. So have them on and talk to you about what they're doing in the community that'll help you in your business. So you won't always see me because I'm not the know-it-all. I just know how to do what I do. And that's house homeless veterans using the funds that are already in the community. Okay, what? Okay, all right. He said thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Jack. Thank you for thanking me. David, how can housing initiatives scale nationally? What I'm talking about right now is already nationally. So um, um, providers are buying the books and they're reading, and it's all, I think I'm in 39 states right now, of not only homeless veterans but providers, or soon to be providers, are purchasing my books to learn. I have the books. Where would I find the group? Well, you have to let me know. My group is not public. It's not on Facebook like a lot of those Facebook groups. So go to my DM. You got the book, right? You got the book? Uh-huh. So what I want you to do is open to the copyright notice page, and you will see my email address. Email me holding a book, take a picture holding whatever book you got, and let me know, hey, this is Flores Hicks from TikTok. I've got your books, and here's my picture. I got your email. I'll capture that. Send me your phone number and what city and state you're in. Then I'll manually put you in the group. I just don't let everybody come in the group, because you have to be serious about what you're doing. I'm very serious about housing homeless veterans. People think about as a, oh, hey, Cody, thank you so much. Hold on. Cody says, great content, great cause, great people. Yay. Thanks, Cody. I just emailed you. And sent proof of confirmation. Yay. Hallelujah. Thank you so much. So let me, I showed y'all my award from Main Street Organization of Realtors. I got that award this year from the president. And I'm like, thank you for I get so many awards. But I'm like, thank you for the award, especially from the real estate community, because I just say they don't get it yet. And I know it's a lot of work. It is, to me, it's not a lot of work. But when my coach had me put all the forms so that I can train the soon to be operators who want to operate in the HUD VASH space, teach you how all the forms are going to look even before you get to that point, and then write out the directions. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I've been doing. So that's how I know it's a lot of work. But for me, it's just like, it's just paperwork. It's something that you have to do. But when you're first starting out, it may seem overwhelming, which it will. It is overwhelming. It's just paperwork, though. And once you get the hang of it, it's just the same paperwork every single time you get a new person. That's it. That's it. So my colleagues in the real estate, here's the book that I wrote for realtors. And I read this book. I wrote the book and I read the book several times right here. And the reason why I wrote the book is to help my realtor colleagues help homeless veterans and get a commission. When I was working as a realtor, I worked full time from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. My realtor colleagues couldn't tell me that. Halliburton, one of my realtor colleagues, she said, Yvette, I remember you told me you only work 9 to 5. How did you only work 9 to 5? I'm out here showing houses and this and that. I'm like, because that's when the money is open. The money is open from 9 to 5 in these organizations. Why would I work on a Saturday and I can't speak to a social worker? I can't verify whatever it is you have. Even if you have a HUD VASH voucher, who will show you those units on a Saturday? Because I don't list any of the units that maybe once in a while, but not many. So when I don't list the unit, I don't have access to those units on the weekend. So you want me to contact the owner so he can have himself or have a maintenance guy come and open a door for you? They might be chilling too. People have off days. So my schedule is Monday through Friday when I was doing this full time and have housed over 5,000 homeless veterans. My schedule was 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Holidays, I'm off with the federal government. Why am I working on President's Day? They're not open, some of them aren't. So that's how I operate. And she was like, I'm working all these hours. And some of my realtor colleagues, they had jobs and doing real estate on the side. I didn't have a job. All I did was real estate, housing homeless veterans Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and generated a 7-figure income doing that. If you know where the money is, then it'll be easier for you to operate a veteran shared living model or to house homeless veterans. And I teach my investors, the ones who in housing period, the ones who have veteran shared living models, and I don't call them transitional because some of the models will not be transitional but they'll still be program based and you'll still be serving participants and not tenants because you're not issuing any leases to anybody. It's program based, and that's how the veterans housing is funded under a program, whether that's transitional in a veteran shared living model, whichever model you choose. And you can choose a lot of them. I have them in the book. Just as involved, and I'll tell you why. Just as involved. Okay. I used to go to the Metropolitan, the federal prison, and speak to veterans who were incarcerated, who were looking to be released from incarceration and who needed housing. Now, and I've housed a lot of former homeless veterans who had backgrounds. One of my veterans, I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm like, how did you get? It was either 117 or 170 hits on his criminal background. And I reviewed each and every. I'm like, okay, I see why he was getting so many, but who would house a person with 100 plus hits on their criminal background? Who? What realtor is going to even look side-eyed at a person like that, regardless if they're a veteran or not? Regardless, who's going to look at them? Well, I did get them housed. I got them housed in a 2-bedroom, single family, fully rehabbed house. One of my investors, he was like, where's he getting the money from? Okay, then I'll take him. That's what it's about. You are an investor. You want your cash flow. You want to see your rate on return. You want to know that you can depreciate some things over time. You want that mortgage paid if it's still a mortgage on it. You want to have a tenant in there. So now you can take that to the bank and go get another one. That's what you want to do as an investor. But what stops a homeless veteran from being serviced in that matter if they are in the community trying to talk to a realtor? I don't think that what realtor out here who's going to house a veteran, homeless veteran with over 100 hits on their criminal background? Why would you do that? I mean, who would sit down and have a conversation with a person like this? What did he do? He should be under the jail right now. Because you don't know where the money is coming from. And that's what these investors want. He wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't a bad guy. You know, things happen in life. If you're homeless, a lot of things could happen in life. You're trying to sleep somewhere, but now you are what's the word? Trespassing. You're just trying to get some sleep. You forget about trespassing. This was the warmest place to be tonight. Yeah, I opened the lock because I know how to do that, but it was cold outside. I'm not taking nothing. I'm just sitting here in the corner trying to get warm. Oh, you go to jail for that. You get locked up for that. Well, damn, I'm just a homeless veteran trying to survive. So that's why I wrote this book. Because if there's a homeless veteran out there, we have so many benefits in our community, from federal, county, state. I forgot state. So hold on a second. So you all can go to this free plug right here, free plug. Go to the va.gov/get started and download this book so you can learn. You want to get into veterans housing, you have to help veterans, help them in the mindset of, yeah, you know, you're right. I do need my benefits. I'm not going to hate the VA anymore. I'm going to love them because now I'm going to be able to get benefits so that I won't be homeless. So just learn, start reading right now what veteran benefits are for veterans, dependents, survivors, and caregivers. And whatever state you are in, go to your state website. My state is Illinois, so go to Veteran Affairs. So whatever state you're in, go to that state Department of Veteran Affairs website and print out that information about homeless housing. What does your state do to support um, the homeless housing initiatives? Find that out. And then go to your county, go to the county government. My county, Veterans Assistance Commission, they did a pretty book. I'm like, what? Congratulations, Grant. So these the benefits that are in the county are not in the state, and they are not in the federal. Some of them cross over because they're referencing maybe a little bit was in each of these books, but the benefits are based on that specific county and what organizations are serving those veterans in that county. That's just 3 branches, right? And then you can go to your local VA and see what your local VA is offering. You want to do veterans housing? This is how you do veterans housing. You just don't put a veteran in a bed and say, hey, you go figure it out yourself. That's wrong. Know something to help these veterans get to the next level. If a veteran submits claims, right? And those claims that veteran submits equal to 100%, hey, that veteran is now eligible for a lot more, a whole lot more. And I give you a whole lot of scenarios on how you can operate your veteran shared living model and help veterans who receive their 100% service connection. And also, not only that, what are their next steps? So veterans who receive 100% service connection, depending on your program, and I hope is written in there based on the books you buy and you read. You have a credit person come in, on every 90 days, have a 90-day clinic every 90 days that they're there every 90 days. Give them a year. Y'all stay up in here for a whole year. Let's get you together. We know where we got the money coming in already, so you good. We have a VSO coming in to do a workshop this day, and I have everybody's calendar scheduled, so I'll know everybody will be here at this time. You'll have credit workshops. You do all of this, and I teach you all of this in the books. And that's how you help. That's how you help a homeless veteran in housing. I don't know any other way to do it. I don't know any other way to do it. I really don't. I really don't. And I've seen a lot of ways of it being done, of housing veterans. I was in I was a homeless veteran. Let me let y'all know that for the new people. And when I became a realtor and found this community, I just stayed in the community because I know how to get a homeless veteran out of homelessness into stable housing and into home ownership. Now, I don't do it boots on the ground anymore. I'm here to teach you how to do that. And your first step is to get some books and read, and then let me know you have them, and I'll put you in my private group. And this is I'm new to doing all of this. So don't people when is the meeting? When is this and that? I'm putting it all together, but it's going to take you some time to read. And then come and see me on live. And then when I do get everything I need in the group, or at least partial of it, I will start having the private sessions with everybody. But read first. My last workshop at the vet center was March 2025. So, and I didn't start talking about, this group until like in September, October, maybe. So I got a lot to set up, and I am a solopreneur. So I don't have a large team. My team, who I would take to the VA, they have their own professions. They are in lenders. Hold on, let me get the book so I don't forget anybody. And that's in this book. Do you sell any audiobooks? You know what? Audiobooks, I got a quote from somebody who said the audiobooks to convert them is like 400 and something dollars. And I have 10 books in this series, but altogether I have 31 books. So I don't know which book I would audio first. And then I got to find somebody to audio them. So the answer to that is no. You got to read. You got to read, bro. Let me see. Yeah, I'm still searching. I have an assistant who helps me with administrative stuff. Okay, here. So in your on your team, put it that way. When you do veterans homeless housing. So, well, let me go back. Before I jump into, we don't have the time, then you don't want to make the money. Make the time. I did all of this for you. All of this just for you. All of it. You think I have a whole lot of time? I don't even want to tell you everything I have to do as a solopreneur. Mm. And a government contractor. So yeah, make the time, because what it's going to do is clear up some of that time when you know how to make the money right. Then you don't have to be trying to do things where you don't have the time. That's what I gotta say. So in your veteran shared living model home, you're going to take a veteran from transition to home ownership as an investor. Want to know how I know? I did it. And you can too. So don't just look at your veteran shared living model home as a place for a veteran to come and have a place to lay down. And where you going tomorrow? I don't know, man. No, you have the structured program. So, and this book can be very helpful to you too in your veteran shared living model, because now they can understand that, you know what? Yeah, you're right. When I get my benefits, then yeah, I can go ahead and buy me a 4 unit, a fourplex, a 3 unit, threeplex, a 2 unit, twoplex, or a single family house, because now I got my 100%. I can just chill. I don't want to be bothered with nobody. I got my money. That's what 100% means. You get full benefits and a full check, over 4 grand a month. Yes, as a former homeless veteran, you can receive over four more than that. I know some veterans who are getting 17 grand a month, and it's a combination of a whole lot. 11 grand a month. You know, if you're a veteran who retired from the VA and from the military, and now you get 100% service connected disability pay, and you get Social Security. And don't mention the veterans who also retired from a job too. So you get all that money. Plus, if you were in war, that's additional on top of this disability. If you have children of a certain age, that's additional money. If you have dependents who you're still caring for, the money just stacks up. And I have helped over the years veterans who had nothing until they met me and came to my program at the VA, housing homeless veterans from homeless to home ownership. So on your team, when you have your veteran shared living model home. All of these people all of these industries that I'm going to mention, they need to be in your treasure. Hold on a second. That's in this book. One moment, please. Okay. That's in the social worker book. So I teach the social workers too. I teach the social workers to where are the pages? Okay. Your this is called your hold on. You're building your war chest of trusted contacts. And I have a couple of my trusted contacts in the book here too. I don't even know if they know they're in the book. I should tell Randy and Juan. Did y'all know y'all in my book in chapter 5? Randy, Randy is an investor colleague of mine who was a client of mine back in the day. I would rent out all of his units any old kind of way. Um, not just any old kind of way, but transition to rental because some, and then I also found a property manager. I mean, so all of this stuff. And then Juan, he is an investor where he does fix and flips. Randy, he's an investor of multi-million dollar properties. Like one of them was the DuPont mansion. Oh my God. And it's for short-term rental. So they go all over the country buying these huge mansions and they do short-term rentals in those mansions. Yeah, so I teach you how to gather up your war chest of contacts. So, who you will need on your team when you're doing homeless veterans housing, veteran shared living models, and you have a veterans live transitionally or even permanently, depending on what type you choose. Oh, it's over an hour. Let me hurry up. I ain't gonna hurry up. I pay for these platforms. And Comcast called me. I'm like, what I get charged an extra $100 for? They said, you've gone over your data plan. I'm like, what? How did I do that? Oh, do you do a lot of streaming or gaming? Or I'm like, oh, I didn't know streaming. I thought it was just part of my plan. So I had to get another plan. Oops, it was cheaper than paying that extra $100 a month. So, on your team, as an investor of veteran shared living model homes who go to rentals now, because these veterans, once they leave your veteran shared living model home, that's only transitional, right? They're going to need to rent someplace. So, where are they going? Who's going to help them find some place to rent? So you should always have a realtor on your team and not just any realtor. Because then they're going to be like, I don't know how they're moving from your transition. That means they were homeless. And so have a credit person, have a realtor. If you have a realtor, please let them know to go get this book. And they can also join my community just by buying the book. You're going to need, okay, realtor, you're going to need a loan officer, because if you help these veterans through your program by offering a workshop with the VSO to help them get their benefits, then you're going to need a loan officer with that realtor, because now that realtor can help um, that former homeless veteran look for a house. But I teach you as the investor, you be that home, that land, not the landlord, but you be that seller, because this is how you're grooming your home. This is how you're grooming your participants. You're gonna help them step by step, and you're gonna even take them to see the houses that you're rehabbing. This is an option for you, because as a veteran there is no money down, and as an investor you can say, you know what, I'm even paying your closing costs. So now, and that's what I always tell always put on my buyer's agreements, my contracts, my offers is that the seller pays the veteran's closing costs. Why not? So now you took a veteran literally as an investor who owns a veteran shared living model home to one of your rental properties because now they just got approved for HUD VASH, or they got approved for a different SSVF funding source that'll now pay a rent in opposed to a program fee. So now you've literally taken a veteran from homeless to rentals to now, you know what? I'm rehabbing some houses on this block, and I want to take all y'all to see these houses because one day you can own. How about everybody buy a house on this block? So we're buying back the block as veterans. So now you've taken a veteran from homeless through their transition to rental to home ownership. Now you have a veteran, man. You know what? I got my VA loan, and I think I want to buy a 4 unit. I want to partner with you because this veteran, and this is going into government contracting, what I'm about to share in the next minute. You're taking this veteran now can become a veteran-owned small business. That's a VSOB. This veteran is 100% service connected disabled. Now this veteran can apply for a service disabled veteran-owned small business certification. That's the top of the food chain. There's set asides in billions of veteran contracts. So the sky is the the universe is the limit. You can take veterans homeless housing as high and as far as you want. And that's what I teach you how to do through education and joining my private group. That's it. But in order to join my private group, you got to get some books and read. And one thing I don't do, I don't read to you and I don't coddle you. My daughter will tell you that. My daughter, she's in college on military benefits. Her tuition is paid for, and she also receives a check every month. And then she has a rental unit. She moved off campus, and the military is paying that too. And then she works in the office of where veterans go. So she's getting everything about the veteran um, lifestyle. And then she lived with two veterans. She lived with me all her life. So I mean, we can take this anywhere. It's not a passive business. It is a business of expansion. So don't think I'm just housing some veterans, putting them in a bed. No, you could be one of these organizations that receive funding in the millions. In the millions. Here's one, $2,099,923. I love this one, 14,227,607. This is in Texas. Florida, let me tell you how much some of the organizations in Florida, because these are the organizations I'm going to teach you, show you. It's not even, it's on the email. So everybody who joins will receive this email again, and I will send the email out with all of this information. So in Florida, it's listed all of the organizations that have received the funding to pay for homeless veterans housing initiatives. Here's one in Florida. They received $23 million. Another one in Florida and Georgia combined, they received $15 million. Another Advocate Program Inc., they received over almost $7 million. This was another stream of income for me in addition to her VASH, because I knew where all the money was and still do, because they tell you right there in the documents where the money is. So that's what I teach you how to do. Scale your veterans housing. Get some books and read them. They're not even difficult to read. I'm not trying to use all those big words. One day it was so funny. I was I was in homeless walk-in at the VA, and I was in the waiting room with all the other homeless veterans. and it was cold. I just despise getting cold. So I'm sitting out. Hey, Mel Johnson, thanks for joining. I was sitting in the homeless walk-in waiting room, and I had on this knit hat that it was a looked kind of crazy, looked like it came from somebody made it. I got it from one of the stand downs, but it was a warm knit hat and it was so pretty. It had all the pretty colors, but it just looked like, it probably came from a thrift store, but it was made. I liked it. So I had it on. I had on my coat because I'm still cold. I'm sitting up in there like this, right? Then I didn't know, and they didn't know I was there to help them. They didn't know who I was. They thought I was there to be helped as well. So um, I waved, I waved at one of the veterans. I mean, at one of the social workers, and he looked at me, and I'm like, you know what? So he just thought I was another homeless veteran, and and the way he said hi was not like a recognizable hi, hello. It was like, ugh, I'm coming back to work and I gotta probably sit and meet with somebody stinky today. I mean, not those are my brothers and sisters, and I've been housing them for over 22 years. I know. I'm like, dude, look, make sure before you come, you go to and go take a shower or go take a bath. Tell your social worker you need a clean change of clothes. Oh, you've been out there and I'm coming to get you, and I don't want you smelling up my car for real though. They be like, Yvette, you right, I know. And don't come because some of them, because being homeless, you have to deal with life the best way you can deal with life. But I would say make sure you haven't had any substances or anything today if that's what you do. You said I just smoke. Well, don't smoke because I don't want to be smelling no stinky cigarettes either. So word got out. They like, don't be playing with Yvette because she ain't gonna let you. No, I don't. This is serious business. Love on our homeless veterans and make sure they get served the best way possible. That's what you can do as an advocate. That's what you can do as a housing provider, someone who says, I want to house homeless veterans. Then do it ethically, do it lovingly, and do it with education. Because we have, oh my God, my heart just hurts. So I know how this time of year, especially in the wintertime, and this is when I really remember being homeless in the winter time in Chicago. Chicago is not nice in the wintertime. I stepped outside in my garage today in one fur coat. I'm like, ooh, let me go back in and put on the big dog because it's cold out. And I didn't have fur coats when I was homeless. As a matter of fact, when I was homeless, the last time I ran away and never came back, I didn't have any clothes. I didn't even have a winter coat. I layered and got on the train. And no shame in my game. I'm going to work. And I know when I get my first check, I can find the nearest thrift store and go buy me a nice big old coat. Hmm. Yeah. And you can, everybody has the choice and the option to housing homeless veterans. If you have real estate, if you and please, I know you have real estate and I know you want to house homeless veterans, but you have to get the education on what it is you're doing. I have one mouth. That's why I'm on here live. I'm streaming on 4 platforms right now. I will not do a one on one to tell you what's in the book or to consult you one on one on something that you have no knowledge of. Pick up the book, read the book, join my private group That's where we engage to teach you how to do what you need to do. We're going to be holding hands doing this because you have properties and we've got homeless veterans in all of these states and they have vouchers. I'm going to be like, look, where did you research? Okay, hey, let's go here because I know there's a gang of them over there. Here's a social worker who reached out to me because I send out emails to the social work community and let them know that, hey, we have properties in Fort, what was it? In Texas. She's got one unit filled with women veterans, and the next one is going to be filled with men veterans. I forgot what Texas is in. You right, I know that, right? Hold on. If I was there, I'm in Oklahoma. It sucks. Help, no help. I know, and that's why I'm here to find this. What did you say you write about? Do you sell okay audiobooks? No, hold on a second. Fort Worth, yep, Fort. Thank you, Burrita, Tarita's on TikTok. Fort Worth, Texas. She's a captain. You can also go and watch the video of her. I was interviewing her. One of my videos. She's my client in Fort Worth, Texas, and so you've got property, but you still have, and then it was so wonderful on the video. She said, Yvette, I had bought your book, but I didn't read it. But when I read it, it would have saved me 50% of my time. Go get the book and read the book and watch the video. I don't write for hype. This is not a game for me at all. Not a game. I got proclamations from the senator. I got a proclamation from the senator. Got a proclamation from a rep. I'm numbered. Hold on. I got another award from the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs. This 2025 for being, what is the award? Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, Illinois Women Veteran Leaders of 2025. And why I get this award? Because I'm still housing homeless veterans. I'm still teaching and educating in our veterans community. That's why. Here's one of our veterans, not veterans, but Robin. He's got medical background and worked with the VA with veterans before. Here's another. I mean, it's just people are coming out the woodwork. All of these locations, North Carolina is the newest state. So I'm just looking for concerned people, really, who want to do this as a business. That's it. It's not novice and it's not a hands-off thing. Is it a get quick rich? No. It's a sustainable business and you can be in it for a long, long time. Let me see if I have this investor's video. I have another video on YouTube with one of my investors. I said, well, send me a video. And he sent me a video thanking me for tenants that I played with him over 10 years ago. And those units are over $2,100 a piece. It's 4 units. Add it up. And then the building, I'm quite sure, is paid for by now. I'm going to ask him, is that building paid for yet, John? Because that's just money over money over money and depreciation every year for the next however many years. Consult your attorney on that or your tax professional on that. I want to thank you all for being here. Hold on a second. If I was there, I'm in Oklahoma. Jewel, did you get, let me see, did you get any books? Are you in my private group yet? Because you can do this if you're capable. But you can. I mean, if you're well enough and all that good stuff, you can do this. All you got to do is learn and go talk to the community. Because let me tell y'all something. Veterans need knowledge that's in the community that they don't know where to go get. But if you know where to get it and you can say, okay, I'm going to have a workshop at my church, and the workshop is going to be entitled Veterans Resources and Home Buying Workshop. That's the title of my workshops. One of them, some of them add in taxes and legal and aspects. But veterans will come because they're like, what? Veterans housing, benefits, legal. I need all of that. So, but you have to learn how to do that and learn who the players are, who you need on your team. And your team players are in this book. Well, anywho, they're in this book somewhere back here. All right, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting ready to go make some dinner. I want to thank y'all for watching. Got a new one. Finest. Let me see. Where did you say? You're in Florida. Some part of Florida I never even heard of. Yeah, somebody said they were in some part of Detroit. Eric, he's in some part of Detroit. I'm like, what? I can't even pronounce it. But he got the book. He was like, I think somebody even sent me the property that they just purchased and they're rehabbing. So in conjunction with rehab, and they'll be learning and have everything already set up and know where the veterans are going to come from when they're ready to launch. That's a good plan. Oh, I have some of my housing plans. I just took some pictures of them. Housing plans that I wrote for the village of Dalton, the village of Riverdale, and 3 for Chicago. I've got those plans. You can't even see them over there in this picture right here. I wrote some phenomenal housing plans. One of them, man, every time I drive by that, I'm like, I wrote a housing plan for that. And the guy they were supposed to have been buying this property. It was an old monastery. It was a monastery with a convent, a whole lot of bedrooms on both sides. They had a huge church and a smaller, like a church area, 2 huge industrial commercial kitchens for both sides, and then they had a large dining room for each side, and then smaller dining areas. They had offices. They had then another long area with the classrooms upstairs and downstairs, an area. And I'm remembering all of this. Oh my God, this happened back in 2016. Then they had a loading dock on the back where a truck could literally pull up and unload all of this stuff. And then they had garages and like sheds where you can. I wrote a whole plan for that entire building. It included ASC certifications. That's automated service excellence, where they would actually have a school because they had the room to train a classroom of veterans on automotive and diesel. Then another classroom for the hair and the nails and whatever, anybody. It was all planned out where these organizations and companies can rent the space, and that will be their school and resources for our veterans in that facility, along with the offsite offices for social workers and case managers and human care. I mean, it was just phenomenal. That was one of my Yeah, what's that? Yeah, I think that was the best plan ever. I wrote another plan for the village of Dalton. Was it? No, the village of Riverdale. That was a nice plan. But anyway, let me wrap this up. Thank y'all so much for being here. And let me go and see what these providers or soon to be providers want to do. But if you have not clicked to like and to start following my page, please do so. I'm here to help you get educated on working in the homeless veterans community and knowing the population so that you can be successful as an entrepreneur, as a government contractor. Man, I'm also a new executive board member on an organization for veterans called Elite SDVOB for Illinois. SDVOB is Service Disabled Veteran Owned Businesses, and I'm the newest executive director board member. I love it. So can't wait to bring you all that great information. Thanks for watching and ciao for now until Monday. Be blessed and happy New Year.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.